There is no friend as loyal as a book. There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. Happiness in intelligent people is the rarest thing I know. I love sleep. My life has the tendency to fall apart when I'm awake, you know? The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much and forgetting that you are special too. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. That will teach you to keep your mouth shut. The first draft of anything is shit. The world breaks everyone, and afterward many are strong at the broken places. All you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence that you know. I drink to make other people more interesting. When people talk, listen completely. Most people never listen. All good books are alike in that they are truer than if they had really happened. And after you are finished reading one, you will feel that all that happened to you, and afterwards it all belongs to you. The good and the bad, the ecstasy, the remorse and sorrow, the people and the places, and how the weather was. If you can get so that you can give that to people, then you are a writer. Every day is a new day. It is better to be lucky, but I would rather be exact. Then when luck comes, you are ready. All thinking men are atheists. Courage is grace under pressure. Never think that war, no matter how necessary, nor how justified, is not a crime. But man is not made for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. You expected to be sad in the fall. Part of you died each year when the leaves fell from the trees and their branches were bare against the wind and the cold, wintry light. But you knew there would always be the spring, as you knew the river would flow again after it was frozen. When the cold rains kept on and killed the spring, it was as though a young person died for no reason. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. The best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Never confuse movement with action. As a writer, you should not judge, you should understand. Forget your personal tragedy. We are all bitched from the start, and you especially have to be hurt like hell before you can write seriously. But when you get the damned hurt, use it. Don't cheat with it. I can't stand it to think my life is going so fast and I'm not really living it. Never to go on trips with anyone you do not love. My aim is to put down on paper what I see and what I feel in the best and simplest way. In order to write about life, first you must live it. No, that is the great fallacy, the wisdom of old men. They do not grow wise, they grow careful. So far about morals, I know only that what is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after. But life isn't hard to manage when you've nothing to lose. When you love, you wish to do things for. You wish to sacrifice for. You wish to serve. Now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with that. There is. The first and final thing you have to do in this world is to last it and not be smashed by it. If two people love each other, there can be no happy end to it. The hard part about writing a novel is finishing it. They wrote in the old days that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. But in modern war, there is nothing sweet nor fitting in your dying. You will die like a dog for no good reason. Let him think that I am more man than I am, and I will be so. Worry a little bit every day, and in a lifetime you will lose a couple of years. If something is wrong, fix it if you can. But train yourself not to worry. Worry never fixes anything. I know the night is not the same as the day, that all things are different, that the things of the night cannot be explained in the day, because they do not then exist. And the night can be a dreadful time for lonely people once their loneliness has started. You know, it makes one feel rather good deciding not to be a bitch. Don't you ever get the feeling that all your life is going by and you're not taking advantage of it? Do you realize you've lived nearly half the time you have to live already? Why do old men wake so early? Is it to have one longer day? It's none of their business that you have to learn how to write. Let them think you were born that way. There is nothing else than now. There is neither yesterday, certainly, nor is there any tomorrow. How old must you be before you know that? There is only now. And if now is only 2 days, then 2 days is your life, and everything in it will be in proportion. This is how you live a life in 2 days. And if you stop complaining and asking for what you never will get, you will have a good life. A good life is not measured by any biblical span. By then, I knew that everything good and bad left an emptiness when it stopped. But if it was bad, the emptiness filled up by itself. If it was good, you could only fill it by finding something better. When writing a novel, a writer should create living people, people not characters. A character is a caricature. We are all apprentices in a craft where no one ever becomes a master. The world is a fine place worth the fighting for, and I hate very much to leave it. As you get older, it is harder to have heroes, but it is sort of necessary. It is good to have an end to journey toward, but it is the journey that matters in the end. All modern American literature comes from one book by Mark Twain called Huckleberry Finn. American writing comes from that. There was nothing before. There has been nothing as good since. The only thing that could spoil a day was people. People were always the limiters of happiness, except for the very few that were as good as spring itself. Retirement is the ugliest word in the language. Share your favorite quote in the comments, and let's inspire each other.